Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be dumped over text after 17 years together. How can I move on? So, this particular email, this guy was with his now ex-girlfriend for 17 years. And so he was 17 when they first started dating, and so I assume they were high school sweethearts together. And so he was thinking, hey, we're going to grow old together. This is great. But apparently she met another guy because he wasn't really dating and courting her and a lot of other things that he's now come to realize since he came across the work of yours truly. And I guess he's reading 3% Man and he's trying to figure out what the hell just happened to me. So he's pretty distraught. Probably this is either the first or one of few women he's been with, and he's been with her for literally half his life. And now all of a sudden she's like, yeah, see you later. I mean, after 17 years together, she breaks up over text. You can call me if you want, but I'm moving on. See you later. Have a nice life. So he's obviously in shock. And that's just a bad place to be. But the good news is, because he's in a lot of pain, he's looking for a solution because he wants to get out of his pain. And now that he's got 3% Man, if he does the work that's necessary, then he can be dating a hotter, younger, obviously more loyal girl than the one that he was with, because now he knows what to look for. So there's this particular email, and then tomorrow's video newsletter is actually going to be a success story from a guy that was kind of in the same boat. He ended up, I'll just give you kind of a sneak peek of tomorrow's, because today you have a guy that's just in the shadow of the valley of death. He's just going through the worst thing. And so tomorrow is a success story. The title of that video newsletter is going to be 3% Man Success Story, starting over in my 30s. So that particular guy got married at 22. He was with her for I don't know how many years before they got married, but he was with her for about 8 years, and he eventually figured out that she was a manipulative, covert, narcissist sociopath. He suffered through anxiety and depression and came that close to ending his life over the mental and emotional torture that his ex-wife put him through. And so he had a long, it was a difficult journey, but he's been doing well these last few years, and he just shares a really great success story that he had over the weekend at a concert. Because initially he was like, he's in the same boat. So it's like today you're going to get the guy that's just the beginning of the worst part of his life. Tomorrow you're going to get a story from a guy who's come out the other side. He was married. This guy was just in a relationship with this particular girl. But the guy from tomorrow, he was married. And if he can get over it, this guy can get over it. So you got something to look forward to in that success story. But let's address today's email. 17 years together. So he knows he needs to move on. He needs to date. But he's just having a hard time because, his whole identity from the time he, in essence, was a child, since he was a minor, a kid in high school, is all wrapped up in everything he does with his now ex-girlfriend. Their friends, the holidays, social life, everything was all around him and his relationship with this girl. And now she's gone. He's like, probably doesn't look, he looks around. He's like, what the hell happened to my life? He doesn't even recognize it anymore. He's probably got friends. Maybe some of them sided with her, so they went with her, and then vice versa. And it's an unpleasant thing to be in, but out of the ashes, the phoenix rises. So today, we're dealing with the ashes. Tomorrow, you get an inspiring story of a dude who got through it. So he says, what's up, Coach Corey Wayne? I've seen a lot of your videos because I'm going through it lately, and I wanted to get your advice. I've been with my girl since I was 17, and I'm now 34, and she recently left me out of the blue. All I got was a text that said she didn't want to be with me and to stay away from her because she's going to move on. I spent 17 years in a relationship, and all I got was this shitty t-shirt. Obviously, this is a really cool t-shirt. Dom Rasso makes some kick-ass fucking t-shirts. He's a good follow as well. Back to our regularly scheduled email. It's like, that's just hard. Over text, 17 years together, and it's just, oh yeah, I'm going to move on. Leave me alone. Fuck off. Have a nice life. It's terrible. She blocked my number, and when I would go look for her, she was never home. I knew these were all red flags, and each day I was hurting. Then 2 weeks later, she posted herself with another guy and how she was in love with him. My heart couldn't believe it, and I broke down, and I haven't been myself since. So what's happening is your whole reality, your whole world, your whole life that was built around your relationship that you had together with this person has just been dissolved. And you're probably thinking, how the hell can we be together for 17 years and all of a sudden she's 2 weeks later, after dumping me through text, she's on social media going, oh, I'm so in love with this guy. My new boyfriend's amazing. So it's pretty clear she was cheating on him and she was lining up a replacement while they were together, also known as monkey branching. So she was holding on to this guy, making him think that she was still all in while she explored things with another guy. And so what does that tell us about her character? Well, she's a person of low character and low value. Definitely not somebody, even though he was thinking, not somebody you want to spend your life with, and you certainly don't want to have kids with a woman like that. Because say they stayed together and she did this later on down the road, there's a possibility that some of the kids weren't even his. So he dodged a bullet, whether he realizes it or not. I know he's hurting, and I know this just sucks ass. But with enough time and a long enough timeline, he will be able to get over it. Because at some point, she knew she didn't want to stay in the relationship. So instead of ending it like a person of high character and morality and respecting the fact, shit, we've been high school sweethearts, been together since we were 17, she decides to line somebody else up and dick this guy down in the worst way possible. But karma's a bitch. Someday, he's going to see this girl, and she's going to be older and fat and ugly, and he's going to be with some younger, hotter, fitter, smoking hot chick, and he's going to be feeling so satisfied that his life has ended up in such a better place. He says, we've been together for so many years. I've always been there for her. She was with me when I had nothing, and she saw me work hard for everything I have. She's been there for me since day one. I provide, I protect, and I support, and I do everything a man is supposed to do. Well, at least I try. And when I see her post this new dude, I couldn't believe it, because I'm not going to lie. I found out her new guy makes good money, and he has a bigger house than mine. And it had me thinking a lot, and it even started me to think, like, all those years, I wasn't what she wanted. But it made me think I was the one. So women don't care about what a great guy you are, or how big your house is, or how long you've been together. The only thing that matters is how they feel about you. Now, if you have a one of high character, and she's not happy, and you're not dating and courting her properly, and you're not making her feel heard and understood, if she's of high character, she'll end the relationship, take some time to heal, and then when she's ready, she'll start saying yes to dates. Whereas a woman of low character, like the one he was with, which that's not his fault that she's that way. Unfortunately, it took him 17 years to find out what she was like. Again, the guy from tomorrow's email was with his wife 9-10 years probably, a decade, and found out she was a narcissist. She'd been manipulating him and just abusing him for years, to the point where he was that close to ending his life. So if that guy can get through it and go through divorce and all that and come out the other side, this was just your girlfriend. So you're actually in a better situation than the guy from tomorrow's success story was. But you still got to go through the pain. You got to get over it. And you got to realize that you were in love with a fantasy of who you thought and wanted her to be. And unfortunately, now we know she belongs to the streets. She belongs to the streets. He says, I love this girl. I've grown to love her. And at one time, I really thought she was going to be the one I grow old with because we've always been together. She left, and I have not heard from her since. Yeah, well, she's having fun with her new guy. And then the other thing is she stayed with this guy until her feelings were pretty much gone. She clearly feels no remorse. I mean, what an asshole move. But character's destiny. There's a lot of shitbirds in this world, and unfortunately we all live with them. They're around us. Some of them are in our own families, and we just got to deal with it. As for me, I've not reached out to her because I feel like she really didn't care about me, because she knew I would see her social media. And she didn't just do it once. She kept doing it. And then I heard she moved in with him. This really made me lose confidence in myself. And I can't find the confidence to get back in the game and start dating again. I want to get over her and move on. What should I do? Well, first things first, you got to be reading the book. Got to get back in the gym, get fit, get in shape. If you never worked out before and you're overweight, get a personal trainer, learn to eat right, because you have control over how you look, how you feel. And there's just something, a biological process that gets turned on when you push weights around and you do cardio. Because like when I've been lazy and I stopped working out, it's like I almost become invisible. Women don't like notice me as much. But if I'm pushing weights up, I'm not a big bulky dude. I'm fitting in shape, but women they just notice you. There's something that our biological organism gives off that healthy women notice. So that's one thing you have control over, is what you do with your time and how you take care of your body. So you get fit, you get in shape, you maximize your looks, you maximize your body, you maximize your mindset, you start applying the concepts that are in the book. I highly recommend you date 2, 3, 4 different women all at the same time. Maybe you get on the dating apps, but the best thing you can do, especially when you look at where AI is going and how, when I look through Instagram now, and I see some of the pictures and videos, I can't tell. Sometimes you can look and go, that kind of looks fake. It looks like AI, but in another year or two, it's going to get to the point where you're not going to be able to distinguish a real picture or a real video from one that's generated by AI. And for you guys that haven't developed your social skills and don't really have an active social life and are afraid to go out and talk to people, other human beings in person, it's like you're going to struggle, because I see catfishing becoming a much bigger problem with online dating, especially with AI and pictures and things of that nature. And it's just, if you're a guy like myself that can be very social and goes out and can talk to people anywhere, strike up a conversation with strangers in an elevator or a checkout line, and just create small talk with anyone and everyone, when you turn around one of these days and you're least expecting it and there's an absolute smoke show smiling at you, you just go right into asking her questions. You open her up. She already likes you because attraction's not a choice. Hey, why don't we go grab a cup of coffee down the street? Or hey, let's go grab a glass of wine at this great wine bar, whatever it happens to be. And next thing you know, you spend the whole evening together, going to 3 or 4 different places. And then you're back at your place, bumping uglies, beating up each other's pelvises. The best thing is going to be a new piece of ass for you. That is going to be the best medicine. Somebody hotter, somebody younger than your ex. Especially a girl that you normally would think, there's no way a girl like that would go out with me. That's what you want. That's very satisfying. Because all it takes is one of those, and you're going to completely forget about the ex and how she dicked you over. And then you're going to be going, man, I'm really glad she's with that other guy, because now I have a space in my life. I can apply what's in Corey's book, improve my game, improve my roster, my practice squad, and eventually find a woman that absolutely knocks your socks off, because revenge is a dish best served cold. And there's going to come a day where you're going to be with a girl and she's hanging on your arm and she's absolutely worshiping you, adores you, wants to have your babies, is proud to be your girlfriend, proud to have you as her man, and your ex is either going to hear about it or you're going to see each other at a wedding of mutual friends or whatever, and man, you're going to be beaming on the inside, and she's probably going to be fat and dumpy and not very attractive, and seeing you that you're fit and you're in shape and you're with this hot, fit and shape younger girl, and she's going to go, man, I really screwed up. But she made her choices. And so the best thing that you can do is to succeed. Just for the satisfaction of her looking at you with a new girl and going, damn. And probably her new boyfriend looking at you and your new girl and going, wow, she's really hot. But that'll be their problem. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to focus on, even though you don't feel like it, your goal should be to take care of your body first and foremost, build a great social life full of fun activities of the kinds of things you love and enjoy doing, the kinds of things that when you're doing them with other like-minded people, it makes you smile because this makes you more attractive, it makes you more outgoing, it grows your confidence, you feel better about yourself, and that's when you're most likely to get noticed by a hot, beautiful woman because most people are completely dead on the inside, and if you're lit up on the inside and you're happy and people can see it in your eyes, women can feel it, they'll feel safe around you, they'll want to be around you, they'll want to be with you, they'll hit on you, they'll make it easy to date and seduce them. So you got to get to a happy place. That's the most important thing. You shouldn't be looking at it in terms of, well, once I meet a new girl, then I'll be happy. It's like, no, you got to get to a happy place first. And then you can find somebody to share your happiness and your completeness with who also is happy and complete. And then it'll just multiply. And your cups will runneth over. That's what you need to do. I know it's not what you feel like doing, but you have to practice the things that are in the book. Repetition is the mother of skill. I say to read the book 10 to 15 times because you're only going to retain maybe 7-8% of it each time you go through it. So in a 250-page book, 10, 12, 15 times, you need to get to know it so well you can teach a class on it. Because you don't have to think about this stuff. You want it to just be instinctual, or it just, something happens, the girl does something, and boom, you just respond right away with the perfect response because you understand the philosophy. And that only comes if you've read it 10, 15, 20 times. Guys that read it once or twice or some thumb through it 2 or 3 times, they get laid and they have a good time. But usually what often happens is they meet a girl they really like, and since they didn't bother learning their relationship wisdom, didn't learn how to transition out of casual dating to deep, close, intimate relationship, then 6, 8 months, 12 months later, when the girl dips on them and they're freaking out, then they go back to the book and they realize, damn, I should have listened to Corey. I wasn't a good student. I didn't take this seriously, and now I'm in pain. So be a guy that learns the book so you can send me a good success story like the one that I'm going to be publishing tomorrow. So again, no matter how bad you think you've got it, no matter how much you're hurting, there's some dude that is hurting way worse and it's got it worse than you. And you'll see that from tomorrow's email. And this guy was like, man, how can I start over in my 30s? I've been with this girl, been married, I got to go through a divorce. He went through that whole process and came out the other side. His career's doing great. He said he used the negotiation techniques that are in Mastering Yourself to get himself a great job and to earn more money than he was expecting to earn. So he's killing it in his professional life. And he met a really hot girl at this venue, which I don't want to spoil the surprise. But it's very satisfying for him to go through everything he went through to becoming that close to ending his life over his manipulative, narcissistic wife, to having a great success story. So if that dude can do it, this guy who was just dating this girl can do it. And again, you should look at it, it's a good thing that she's with this new dude, because this gives you a space to develop yourself, to read 3% Man. I also recommend that you read Mastering Yourself. Both these books are available to read for free in the members area of my website. All you got to do is put your name and your email and subscribe to the free email newsletter. Learn the material, apply it, improve yourself. You'll get the results. That'll build your confidence. And eventually you will meet and date and hook up with a girl that is 100 times hotter and more fun and better for you, and whose goals and values are aligned with your own, and who actually has integrity, unlike your ex. So it's not a matter of hope. It's just simply a matter of time. There's no shortcuts to success. So you're going to have to put the time in. You're going to have to put the work in. And you're going to have to make these things happen. And you can do it. And I also highly recommend that you sign up for our members or paying members only content. So in the video description of this video, there are links to join on YouTube, to join on Spotify, and ideally we'd prefer you join on our website, understandingrelationships.com. Click the plans tab when you get there, or click the link in the video description that'll take you to the plans tab on the website. You can do a 7-day free trial with a monthly plan or an annual plan. If you choose an annual plan at the end of the 7-day free trial, you get a 25% discount for paying the whole year up front. And so what you get is you get 6 additional video coaching newsletters like this one per week that only the paying members have access to. We have a weekly 3% Man study group podcast, a weekly Mastering Yourself study group podcast, and we literally go page by page in both books, just like an ongoing mastery level class with the girls and the guys where we discuss everything in the books. We also have the full viewer questions podcast, and occasionally when we have special interviews, those will be posted there as well. Again, the links are in the video description to join on whichever platform and consume the content. So if you subscribe on YouTube, you can watch it on YouTube. If you subscribe on Spotify, you watch the content on Spotify. And preferably, if you subscribe on the website, you get the 25% discount for the annual plan. And you also get the email analysis. So whichever platform you subscribe on is where you'll be able to consume the content. They're not connected. You won't be able to subscribe on the website and watch the members-only content on YouTube, or vice versa. You won't be able to subscribe on Spotify and watch YouTube because they're all independent platforms. I've seen some of the guys in the comments thinking that when they subscribe on any platform, they somehow get access to all three. They're not connected, and there's no way that that's technologically even possible. So, also, if you have a question or challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.